Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News live from the Student Union. I'm Kaylee Snyder.
And I'm Austin Thielen. Coming up on today's show, UNF student government is proposing to expand treasurer power.
A new UNF degree.
Locker room renovations.
Movies on the house.
And of course, your weekly and weather and sports updates. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. The University of North Florida Student Government Budget and Allocations Committee passed a proposed bill to Senate approval today. The bill most notably clarifies that student government's treasurer's powers in relation to RSO funding. The proposed bill would change Title VIII, also known as the Finance Code, to regulate the funding for registered student organizations and the applications of student body-generated activity and service fee revenues. RSOs are clubs on campus that any student can establish with the help of a faculty sponsor. According to Perch Portal, there are currently 111 RSOs here at UNF. RSOs receive funding based on a tier system. Originally, the proposed revisions only allowed RSOs to advance tiers at the end of each fiscal year. However, at today's B&A meeting, Senator Liz Kramer moved to amend the proposed legislation to allow RSOs to advance in tier after an increase in funding is approved. The committee also moved to correct multiple grammatical and formatting errors within the proposed legislation. The Student Government Senate will vote on this proposal at their next meeting on September 13th, so for further information on these changes, stay tuned on our website.
UNF now offers a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science. The Institute of Environmental Science Research and Education has a new environmental leadership program available to all students. The Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science degree will be available in spring of 2025. The degree will have two concentrations, one on environmental natural sciences and the other on environmental principles and practice. According to Cox, students will undergo environmental leadership training during the environmental leadership program's first semester and start working on a project with a community partner in the spring. The application deadline for the Environmental Leadership Program is Sunday, September 8th by 11:59 p.m. This interdisciplinary program is open to students of any major and it is 2 semesters long. Students must have at least 2 semesters left before graduation to apply.
Well, it's been raining a ton this week, and I know it looks pretty sunny right now, but do you know?
Ospreys, I hope you've been staying dry this week.
Right.
I personally had to drive through multiple floods to get to school, both yesterday and the day before that.
It was bad. But let's go see what the weekend has for us. Annette, with your weekly weather update.
Good afternoon, Ospreys, and welcome to your weekly weather report. Today is expected to be hot with a high of 85 degrees, and later tonight, temperatures will cool into the lower 70s. Today is expected to be partially cloudy, but looking into the weekend, tomorrow we will also have cloudy weather in preparation for expected constant rainfall this week. Starting Sunday, we will have a 73% chance of rain. On Monday, we can expect occasional showers along with Tuesday, but on Wednesday, we will see those showers develop into scattered thunderstorms. Now, temperatures won't range out of the 80s and 70s, and the heavy rainfall this week may contribute to high levels of humidity as well. So ultimately, just like last week, this week is looking like a typical Florida week, one with heat, humidity, and rain. And if you thought last week was bad with all of our rainfall, it's about to get so much worse. But with that, Ospreys, make sure you bring an umbrella on your way to class, and let's head back to the studio for our Nest News.
Thanks, Annette. A new PhD program in computer science is coming to UNF, and on a segment covering it, Spinnaker sat down with Professor Zernitza Prodanoff, Charles Winton, and Judy Solano. Look for this interview soon on our channel.
That's right, and we also this week interviewed the campus Batman. So if you want to see that interview, check out our brand new Osprey 101 coming your way soon. Let's take a look.
UNF Batman, and today we are going to be doing some questions. So, UNF Batman, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Welcome to Spinnaker. To my understanding, it's your second time here in our offices, so welcome back.
Thank you.
So my first question for you is, how did you end up at UNF as a Batman?
It's Batman, alright. Well, Alfred came up to me and said, "Hey, UNF needs defending. You need to go, Master Bruce." And I said, "No, Gotham needs me." And he said, "But they really want to see you." And I said, "Okay." So then I met up with my buddy Deadpool, and we formed the UNF Defenders. We're here to keep the campus safe.
And is that the sole mission of the UNF Defenders?
Yes, we walk people back to their dorms, we find lost IDs, and we just make sure that everyone feels safe during the red zone, because it can be a very scary time.
Yeah. And is this your first year? Like, is this the first year the UNF Defenders
Yeah,
starting?
we started about, I want to say, a week ago, but we're planning to be here for a long time.
I'm glad. And to my understanding, I've seen a lot of people have positive reactions. People have been taking pictures with you on the Snapchat stories and then posting on the Instagram story. What do you think of all the response from the students?
I'm really glad that we have such a positive response from the UNF campus. It makes me feel very happy and makes me feel like we're doing the right thing by making people smile and making them feel safe.
Great. Is there any other comments you'd like to share about your experiences as UNF Batman?
All I can say is stay safe during the red zone. It's a very, very scary time, but I know we'll be able to get through it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time. That's all questions I have. So yeah, thank you, UNF Batman.
Thank you.
And we'll head back to the studio for our next news.
Thanks, Batman. The University of North Florida's athletics department has announced plans this week to renovate its UNF arena locker rooms. The renovations will give all three arena sports custom lockers, nutrition stations, sleeping pods, and new team lounges. Athletic Director Nick Morrow said this project impacts multiple sports, including volleyball and basketball. Morrow added that non-arena sports are welcome to use the new amenities. Morrow stated, "We've got 250 athletes that are in and out of that weight room every day, so we're going to give that a facelift, hopefully around winter break." Morrow also added that improved locker rooms are suitable for recruiting and team chemistry. There were a few unconfirmed complaints by former players online about Harmon Stadium and its current condition, with some saying the baseball venue needed upgrades for years. According to UNF Athletics, the arena locker rooms project is expected to be completed by next summer.
The University of North Florida's Movies on the House program showed its first film of the semester last week. Moth began in 1998 and provides free movies and refreshments for students, faculty, staff, and guests. Nicholas de Villiers, a UNF professor of English and film, is Moth's programming director. He said Moth shows films that the average person overlooks. This semester, movie showings will be at multiple locations: the Andrew A. Robinson Jr. Theater and the UNF Gallery of Art on campus, and downtown at Mocha Jacksonville. According to Moth's website, the Regal Cinema on Jacksonville's Beach Boulevard initially hosted the showings. After Regal Incorporated donated film equipment to the program, Moth began screening films on the UNF campus. Now, Moth screens up to 7 times a semester, every other Wednesday. The next feature will be John DeBerry, starring Johnny Depp, at the Robinson Theater on September 11th at 7:30 p.m.
And now let's go to Angel with your weekly sports update.
Is up, Ospreys. We have a couple of updates from last week and some more sports to cover, so let's get into it. Volleyball hosted the North Florida Invitational last weekend, in which they played against Rhode Island and Quinnipiac, in which the Ospreys swept them both 3-0. The Ospreys also played against the Mercer Bears, with the game ending in a heartbreaking fifth set loss. Volleyball then went on to slowly make their way towards Texas for the Islanders Classic, but before then, they made a stop in Tallahassee to play Florida A&M. The game didn't fall in favor for the Ospreys, with them losing another 5-set thriller. Finally arriving in Texas, however, and coming off of 2 5-set losses in a row, the Ospreys were hoping for a comeback. They found themselves in a familiar situation when they were pulling into the 5th set, however. The outcome wouldn't change, and another 5th set loss puts the Ospreys at a 2-3 record with 3 back-to-back 5-set losses. Over at Hodges Stadium, the men's and women's soccer teams also played against the Mercer Bears, but this time the men's team would go for a scoreless tie with great defense and slow offense from both sides, with the teams having a combined 3 shots on goal in the first half. The women's team, however, would score 2 amazing goals to beat the Bears 2-1 in a dominant win over the Bears. Women's soccer then went on to travel to Georgia State, where things didn't go quite how they wanted. Slow starts from both teams in the first half led up to the Eagles scoring in the final 4 minutes of the half. Then, in the second half, the Eagles just kept the pressure up, scoring more goals, with the Ospreys losing 3-0. Interesting fact about the game, the Ospreys made 31 substitutions throughout the game. That's just insane. Games coming up next week. Men's soccer plays against Georgia Southern Eagles here at Hodges on Monday at 7 p.m. And our Osprey volleyball team plays against the Florida State Seminoles here at UNF Arena on Tuesday at 5 p.m. That's all I have for you today, Ospreys. I'll see you next week for your sports update.
And that's just about all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Remember, consider donating to support college radio at UNF through the link in the description below.
That's right, and for all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com.
Also, make sure to follow us on our Instagram at UNF Spinnaker and check out the rest of our YouTube for more content such as Osprey 101 and Supernatural Archives.
That's right, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Austin Thielen.
And I'm Kaylee Snyder.
And
we'll see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.
Swoop.